Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. Chanel is at it again. We got shenanigans. Chanel-nanigans. They're apparently bullying people at this point. Can you believe? Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. Just saying. The Daily Mail and other magazines, I think even BBC or whoever reported about this stuff. Chanel tells locals to not use their balcony and to dim their lights during their upcoming Manchester Métiers collection. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to this form of like telling people in their own homes, people are retaliating, Chanel. What you gonna do about it? Well, let's get to it. First, subscribe to my channel here on the tubes. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. Superdacob all spelled together there as well for extra perks. Thank you to my members and patrons who already pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week, so come join the fun and enjoy. Hi, my co-chatters. Chizis in the chat says, pay me, Chanel. So listen, Linda. So they're saying Manchester Catwalk show as businesses accuse the fashion giant of costing them money. So I got pictures for you. Pictures from the Instagram. So it does fall under fair use. We are crediting the author of the picture. So let me blend it in, Linda. We'll go. So, first of all, how much did they pay the property owner of this building to paint this whole ugly MC Manchester Chanel 2023-24 Métiers? Like, really? Did you have to paint a whole facade of a building? Really, Chanel? So anyway, they're closing off an entire street. Of course, they don't want the peasants, honey. They don't want the peasants. You know, the aspirational clients, right? Those people that can barely afford a wallet at this point, they don't want you to see the show. No. They're going to block everything off. They're going to plaster it with black, whatever this is. And only the invited VIPs, honey, are going to get to see the show. Only the invited ones, okay? The rest of the peasants can watch this facade. You can see the building. You can read the text, okay? And if you're not poor enough, you can afford internet and you got a gadget to log on to the internet, you can see the show once it premieres on the Chanel website. But you're not going to be able to watch it here, okay? Picture courtesy of Mr. Christoph Lloyd, Northern Quarter, Manchester. Go follow the dude. Lovely person. I don't know him, but, credit where credit is due. This gentleman did the photo, so. Kari says, disgusting. Another meme from the internet. Kari from the chat is like, which one of you left the shit in the toilet? Disgusting. So anyway, there's the, and by the way, so now we get to the nitty gritty. Residents living close to a Chanel fashion show being held in Manchester city centre are being told to dim their lights and not use their balconies when the models take to the catwalk. Receipts are in the house. People have been talking to the Daily Mail and have been reporting, people who live in the street where this is happening, and they've been telling, look, Chanel has sent us letters, Linda, letters telling us while the show is happening, how dare you use your house, your balcony that's on the street where the show is going to happen. Don't you dare, you peasant. You're not invited to the show. How dare you step on your balcony during our fashion show to film what's going on the runway. How dare you turn on the lights in your house while we are occupying your street to do our fashion show. The thing goes for, yes, very Greta Thunberg. How dare you? So, the global fashion house is transforming Thomas Street in the northern quarter of the city for its Métiers show on Thursday, December 7th. I guess they're going to film and then premiere the next day, which is set to see celebrities, fashionistas, and other VIP guests descend upon the city. So, and now let me show you the next picture with a temporary canopy is now in place, which has been taped off for the access to the area, and it has been limited with several road closures in place. Let me show you the next picture. This is how this looks like. You can't access this. So the models are going to be, in case it's raining or whatever, well, we'll go. They'll be running down here, and the VIPs are going to be seated like, you know, on the sides of this thing. So all of the buildings on both ends of this canopy, you know, they're like, no. They've received letters in the post by Chanel telling them, like, could you please, like, we'll go. Don't, you peasants. Don't ruin our show with your disgusting likenesses on the balconies. Oh, honey, if I was living there, I would be blasting some ratchet old turbo folk Euro music as loud as I could from that balcony. I would be blasting some disco lights with little ghosts and goblins. I would be projecting the shite out of it from my balcony. Okay? Onto that canopy, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. And I would film the whole thing, too. I would live stream the whole thing. Chanel telling me what to do in my house? Girl, you got another thing coming. But I love you, Chanel. Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only. Never insurance effects. Everything's alleged. And just my ratchet opinion. But listen, people are saying the global fashion house is transforming Thomas Street, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, temporary canopies now, blah, blah, blah. Here's the part where it's not just about the residents in this residential area, but it's also about the bars and the shops in this area. Because you best believe this entire street has been closed, and there are shops also in this street. Little cafes, and also shops that sell fashion. But now that the street is closed off, peak holiday season, by the way, when they make most of their money, right before, you know, Christmas and stuff. Because, you know, in England, I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, but Great Britain, darling, of course they celebrate Christmas, darling. So you can imagine. So what did Chanel do? So allegedly, Chanel paid some of the businesses a certain amount of money to stay closed for a couple of days. Now, I would not have accepted. But anyway, what are you going to do? They're closing off the street anyway. It's not like you have a choice. Chanel paid, probably the city got a permission to close the street, to shut the street down, and then they offered, you know, to like, hey, here, you can, you know, get this or that. Anyway, here's a little bit of money, shut the store. So a number of businesses are being paid by the fashion brand to shut while the event takes place, but owners fear the reimbursement will not cover their losses. Locals have also received letters that have been passed on from Chanel, which requested that occupants do not use their balconies during the show and urged occupants to dim their lights on the evening in question. Now, one resident said, and we quote, "We were told not to go on our balconies and to keep our curtains shut during the show. It was more or less, we strongly suggest you don't go on your balcony, or if you have lights on in your home, close the curtain." I'm appalled. So somebody else says, we've had a handful of letters which have been like a drip feed of information because they want to keep it on the down low, even though everybody knows it's a Chanel show. I mean, they literally plastered it on an entire building that it's a Chanel show. So when asked about the transformation of Thomas Street, another person says it's a lot of money spent on basically a glorified canopy. Ta-da! Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta! Maria Dragonova, to your family. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta! So anyway, I love Maria, by the way. When the little song when she unboxes something. So if they leave it up, okay, so then somebody says, if they leave the canopy up, that will be really good for the businesses during winter time. And if there's heating and stuff, that would be great. I feel like it's a little overzealous, but it's cool. It's not happening in London or somewhere like that. Another resident living in the building said he too had received a letter warning him not to use his balcony during the show. A manager of a bar nearby, near the high street, said they have suffered reduced footfall due to people assuming the businesses in the area are shut in the lead up to the event. He said, it looks closed unless you're coming from Edge Street. And I mean, one doth wonder, when one edges, one always finds a way. Anyway, so where was I? Right. We've had to change our entrance to another side in order to get people to come in. I would say we were a couple of grand down on Saturday, December 3rd. So they made a couple thousand quid too little that they usually would make on a Saturday because of this situation. The manager said the business has been compensated for the days it has been told to close, Wednesday and Thursday, but worries the amount given may not cover the total losses incurred. Another manager of a venue also on High Street said the establishment has not been asked to close, but has been a drop in customers due to the road closures in the build-up to the show. It's definitely been quieter, he said, adding that the impact of the show has been played down by organizers who have reassured businesses that only certain roads will be affected and that the impact will be minimal. Yeah. Oh my God, this is the funniest comment. So when asked somebody else said, they're saying customers can still walk up here, but then drivers can't come up here and cannot deliver the goods, for the bar and for the shop. When asked whether he's expecting any celebrity visitors to come to the pub or to the bar this week, he said with more than a hint of sarcasm, and I quote, "Oh yeah, Naomi Campbell coming for her chicken and chips. Sure." One resident living in a flat on Thomas Street said he works at a nearby cafe that has faced issues with receiving deliveries due to the road closures and loading bays being blocked off. He said the delivery drivers are mad because they're blocking off all the loading bays to prioritize this. They will get in and say, I've parked this far, go get it yourself, I'm off the street. And so on and so forth. Now, listen, it doesn't end there. The most hilarious part is the comment section underneath these articles. Let me tell you, Linda, what some of the people have been saying. Somebody commented, a full doggy poop bag lunch off the balcony comes to mind. Manchester, you're my people. Somebody else says, can't wait to see... I don't know. No, this one can't. I'd install half a dozen floodlights and play some Led Zeppelin during the show. My people. Somebody's really pissed. Somebody says, tells too? Who died and made them lord and master of the town? If you want to decide what happens in my home, you'll have to very, very generously rent it for the night. Otherwise, let's get the balcony decorating party and hard rock gig going, kids. Somebody else says, the cheek of ordering residents to close their curtains and not use their balconies. It wouldn't stop me. Residents should be compensated for the inconvenience. Somebody else says, time for a balcony party. Somebody else says, track of the night on loop, Belinda Carlisle. Leave a light on for me. Water balloons, anyone? Told or requested? There is a difference. Give me $1,000 and I'll go out. I personally, this is what I would do, you guys. I have a solution. I know. I mean, most of these people living in this place, they're not customers of Chanel, not of Pret-a-Porter, and definitely not, maybe some are, but definitely not haute couture. This is a Métiers d'Art collection show. Métiers d'Art is a Pret-a-Porter leaning towards haute couture. It's kind of a mix of the two. It's a little bit more expensive than Pret-a-Porter, much cheaper than haute couture. Nevertheless, honey, nevertheless, for one of the total looks on the runway, Chanel charges, total looks, I mean shoes, the dress, the costume jewelry, the hair, whatever, you know what I mean? The whole shebang. 30,000 pounds and up. Yeah, 30,000 and up. So there's approximately 70 looks per show. 68 to 75, let's say. So you can imagine. Okay. Now, so Chanel is going to film this, photograph this, use this for promotional purposes. They're going to post it, plaster it all over the place on their website, other means of advertising. You know what I mean? They're going to do what they're going to do. So, but they're using my street. I live on that street, right? They want me to stay shut and put and zip it, zone look through it, zone look at it while it's happening live. Okay. So I'm going to tell them, if I want a full-blown look from this runway from you, Chanel, I need to drop at least 30,000 pounds. Fair is fair. You want me to disappear for one evening? 30,000 pounds. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. So I would do it for 30,000 pounds. So that's my price for, closing my curtains. You know what I mean? Giving Chanel my absence dress for the evening. My absence dress for the evening at the cost of their cost, right? Because think about it. The amount of these dresses and outfits and single individual pieces that they're going to sell, they don't have to sell the full look, but they're going to sell the shoe. They might sell 30 pairs of that shoe, but just one skirt, but then they're going to sell 50 necklaces. They're going to sell the sweater. They're going to sell the sunglasses. If they have any sunglasses on this particular runway, we're going to see. So it all adds up, darling. So Chanel putting a letter, okay, in my post box, if I were to live in one of these buildings, to tell me, it's highly appreciated if you disappear for the evening. No, it just won't cut it. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, Chanel, didn't you just declare in 2022 that she made $5 billion dividends? That she paid out the VAT-timers? This is after you've paid everybody else. That's just the plus you've made. I think 30,000 pounds is peanuts for you to get me to shut the F up and disappear for one evening while you're filming your exclusive show. You want this peasant gone? Pay the peasant. The peasantry rate of 30,000 pounds, darling. What say you? And fish and chips. I want 30,000 pounds and a bag of fish and chips. There you go. Because, we keep it real. With a bit of vinegar on the side. IYKYK. Now, Natalie Dietz in the chat says, I get the wine and cheese out and head to the balcony for the Chanel show. So there you go. Brenda says, he lives here in the city and was named the richest man of Switzerland. Diva says, what? So people supposed to sit at home with closed balconies and windows and darkness inside their rooms? I would definitely do the opposite. Don't tell me what to do, Linda, says Diva. Right? Oh my God, Finley says, it looks like a covering for a bus terminal. Way to go, Chanel. I'll take a Chanel bag and a box of fried chicken, says Baby Yoda in the chats. Minnie Jeffrey says, I feel like my balcony needs some heavy renovation works that day. Might be noisy, Chanel. Hashtag oops. And the Nectarine Man says, I'd use my balcony as a full-on Hermes display. The shade, the Hermes orange shade that you would throw at Chanel during their show. Fabulous, though. If Chanel had any character whatsoever, says Finley, they would have done this on the sly and invited all surrounding residents to attend the show if they wished. Yeah, that's just not Chanel's style. Chanel's style is all about exclusivity. Their style is all about not letting you in. Their style is all about tiers, creating levels of you're not invited to this because you haven't spent enough. You're not invited to that. You haven't spent. It's all about that anally retentive attitude of being snobby, elitist. It's actually disgusting, really. You know, still love their heritage. What can I tell you? I'm a huge fan of Coco. So it is what it is. But yeah, very unattractive what they're doing. Very, very unattractive. There you go. Exactly. Exclusivité, s'il vous plaît. Right, Brenda? Jason says, I'd make them feel welcome. I'd wave a white flag. Oh, really? Surrender, baby. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and prayers down below. And until next time, never forget, Linda, never give up on love. Bye.